Welcome on in to another episode, Getting Well with Terry and Friends, MLB Trends and Betting Picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down today's slate. Um, there is 5 games that I like today that we are going to be talking about, and we'll jump into those. But of course, we will start the show by we'll take a look at the comments first, and then we'll jump into what happened on the last show. Morning, Tim. How's it going? What's up? Morning, everyone. Morning, Tim. Well, he took down the Jays jerseys. Yes, I put one wild jersey back up with the Blue Jays jersey, but it just didn't look right. So they're both gone. No jerseys on the wall for right now. We'll see if I end up putting anything up or what I'll do. I'll decide. But for now, blank wall behind me. But that's okay. Um, We'll start by taking a look at what happened on Friday. Of course, no show yesterday, and yesterday was one of my best days of the baseball season so far. Um, and if you follow the spreadsheet, then you made some money yesterday. Of course, that's why I mentioned the spreadsheet in the description below. When there aren't shows, all my plays are available there. But we'll start here with this game. JT Real Muto over 1.5 bases plus 115. Fortunately, this was a loser. He only got one base. Aaron Judge over 1.5 bases. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to use BetStamp now to recap what happened in the last show. But Aaron Judge over 1.5 bases cashed. He got a home run here, so minus 105 winner. Pilar only got one base, so it was a loser there. The Houston Astros Milwaukee Brewers game was not good. Contreras and Yelich both did not get multiple bases. Of course, they did on Saturday when I bet Contreras, so that was good. Jake Bauers RBI did cash plus 180, so that was a nice winner there. And then Mookie Betts. Where is Mookie Betts? Let me see. I'm trying to find it. Mookie Betts cashed. He got a home run. He got 4 bases. So plus 100 winner there. So kind of an up and down Friday, but coming off a good couple days in the weekend. So looking to keep that rolling here this week. I took under 4 in the first 5 in the Jays game. Nice. I have no intentions on betting on Blue Jays games. Um, Obviously, I did bet Jose Barrios to win the Cy Young, so I am rooting for him, obviously, to have a good start. But um, the Blue Jays are 20-25, but they are a lot worse than that, um, in my opinion. So I cannot support this team with Atkins as a GM. Hey, Terry. Hey, you say, how's it going? But we'll jump into today's slate and start with the first game that we're going to be talking about, which is the New York Mets and the Cleveland Guardians here. The Mets plus 105 to plus 119. Cleveland minus 125 to minus 130. 8.5s and 9s available here. This one on the mound for the Mets. And to clarify, I have nothing in the 2 early games. So the game that's on right now, Atlanta, San Diego, and the Jays game, I have nothing. So this game here, Tyler McGill on the mound for the Mets. He's only made one start against the Brewers, where he recorded the loss. 3 hits, only 1 earned run, but 3 walks in 4 innings. So not an awful start, but nothing to jump up and down about either. Ben Lively here, 2-2 with a 3.06 ERA on the season. Coming off a win against Texas. Before that, a loss against the White Sox, and then a win against the Angels. So he's been up and down, but giving up 1 to 3 earned runs. He's been walking guys as well, 3 walks in each of his last 3 starts. Now he faces this Mets team here. And we're going with Andre Gimenez, over 1.5 bases, plus 125. He has not faced McGill before, but Jimenez is on a heater right now. 7 games in a row, he has a hit. 7 games in a row, he has multiple bases. He's got a run and an RBI, both in 5 of his last 7 games. So he's just producing well right now for this Guardians team. And this Mets team is coming off a win, but they still lost the series against the Miami Marlins. The Mets just not playing well. So we'll take a Jimenez here to hit McGill, hit the New York Mets. Brios regression season. No, I disagree. He played the White Sox twice, or sorry, Kansas City twice. And you may think, oh, well, Kansas City doesn't have that great of a lineup. Kansas City is the team he struggles with. And every pitcher has teams they struggle with. I still believe in Brios. That's about the only thing I believe in the Jays. Lindor props over 1.5 bases and home run because he's facing his former team. Well, I don't have Lindor written on the spreadsheet, so he must not be doing that well right now. I will quickly take a look here and see. Yeah, Nick, come on. He's got a 103 average in the last 7 days. 5 hits and 29 at bats. Absolutely not. In fact, give me Lindor under half a base and under. Give me Lindor. You wanted about under props? Well, there you go, Lindor. Under props because he's been absolutely awful lately. So, no. Just because a team faces his former team, like, no. It's been a couple of years since he was with Cleveland. Anyway, that Jays bet is purely based on who's pitching for both teams today. Yeah, I agree. But I also put a little bit on Chicago money line. Yeah, see, I'm just staying away from Jays games because I have tried to bet against them twice this season. And guess what happened? Of course, they won both games. So, not going to get involved in Jays games. But we will move on along to our second game here, which is between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Miami Marlins. Milwaukee minus 132 to minus 135. Miami plus 115 to plus 122. Home dogs, eights and a halves available here. The Miami Marlins coming off a series win. Of course, you're not going to hear that very often, but it's something positive for Marlins fans. On the mound here for Milwaukee is Joe Ross, who 2-4 with a 4.61 ERA and 8 starts. He is coming off a win against Pittsburgh in his last start. 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts in 5 innings. So a great game there. Previous a loss against the Kansas City Royals before that. Bunch of hits, 6 hits against the Cubs, only 1 earned run in that start. So probably got a bit lucky there. On the mound for Miami is Ryan Weathers, who's coming off his best start of the season against Detroit. 8 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, and no decision for him there in that game, which of course broke his losing streak as he had been losing previous games before that against Oakland and the Dodgers. Now he looks to get right against this, or get a win here against this Milwaukee Brewers team. And ultimately, I'm not interested in a side here in this one. I don't really want to back Joe Ross and the Brewers here at this price, but in order for me to take Miami, it's going to have to be some kind of perfect storm for me to take Miami, which is going to be rare. But I do have 2 player props, and one of them is for Miami. So Christian Yelich over 1.5 bases, plus 155. He is second on the team against left-handed pitchers. He hits left-handed pitchers very well. Multiple bases in 5 of his last 8 games. So I like Yelich to hit the ball here. And then Josh Bell. He has multiple bases in 6 of his last 7 games for Miami. He is 2 for 4 against Joe Ross with a home run. So we'll take Josh Bell and we'll take Christian Yelich. Both over 1.5 bases. Nice plus money prices here. Brewers minus 130. Yeah, if I had to take a side, I would take that, but no, understood. Of course, they should smash Miami, but seems like Brewers minus 130 is a gift. Yeah. And as Nick loves to say, the books don't give gifts. So maybe something fishy is going on with that game, and I don't know. Ultimately, I got player props on both sides, but no side or total in this game. Moving on along to our next one, and this has been a moneymaker. A certain player in this game has been a moneymaker the last few days. We'll discuss him here soon. Boston minus 103 to minus 110. Tampa Bay minus 106 to minus 112. Sevens right across the board. Looks like there is a couple 7.5s available here in this game. Tanner Houck on the mound for Boston. Coming off a loss against this Tampa Bay team, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts in 5.2 innings. He's actually lost 3 starts in a row against Tampa Bay, Washington, and Minnesota. So not the best last 3 games for him. Now facing this Tampa Bay team who's off a loss to the Blue Jays. Taj Bradley on the mound for Tampa Bay. Who's coming off a win against this Boston team. 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Overall, he's pitched very well against Boston and the New York Yankees. And this one is tough. Okay, so I'm not jumping off Devers props. Rafael Devers, we were on him for a home run yesterday. We were on an RBI yesterday, and we were on total bases for Devers yesterday. And of course, he hit a home run, cashing all 3. Devers has a run in 7 games in a row, a hit in 12 of his last 13. He's got a home run and an RBI in 5 games in a row, and multiple bases in 8 of his last 9. He is by far the hottest player in baseball right now. Absolutely smashing the ball. Doesn't matter who he faces. Now, that's the thing. That's why I'm kind of torn in this game a little bit, is because Taj Bradley has had Devers' number. Devers is 0-for-7 against Bradley in his career. So it's a battle of the pitcher who has dominated a certain player against the hottest player in baseball right now. Ultimately, what I've decided to do is, instead of normal half unit plays that I do for all player props, I'm going to cut it in half and go with quarter units here, because I still want to back Devers here, but because of how he is done against Bradley, we're going to cut the bets in half and go with half unit plays. So half unit with RBI plus 140 and a half unit with the home run plus 340. See if he can go 6 games in a row and cash for us again here. First 5 under 4. Yeah, probably. The total's really low for sure. Dever free. Yeah, what a great weekend. And a part of the reason why it was a great weekend is because of this guy. So gonna back him again, even though it may not be the exact best spot, but that's why we're going quarter units here instead of the normal half unit plays. But moving on along to our next game here, we've got the Seattle Mariners and the New York Yankees. Seattle plus 114 to plus 121. Yankees minus 131 to minus 140. Eights. It looks like there's a 7.5 available at FanDuel in this one. And looking at who's on the mound for Seattle is Logan Gilbert, 3-2 with a 3.07 ERA, coming off back-to-back losses. So after a really good start to the season, His last start against Kansas City, 6.2 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, and 3 walks. Previous start against that against Minnesota, 9 hits and 8 earned runs in 4 innings and a loss. So his last 2 starts have not been very good, and now he has to face this Yankees team who's rolling right now. Marcus Stroman on the mound for the Yankees, coming off a win in his last start against Minnesota. 6 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks. Previous start was a loss against Houston. The Yankees have won 4 of Stroman's last 5 starts. So Stroman doing pretty well for the Yankees. And if you've been following the spreadsheet the last few days, you will know not only have we been making money on Devers, but also Aaron Judge. Um, Ultimately, we're staying off of Aaron Judge today because he's 1 for 8 with a double against um, a Gilbert. So hasn't had much success against Gilbert, and ultimately he is not as hot as Devers. I could see him getting walked a few times, and we'll see if he if he gets a home run, then it is what it is. But we're going as Giancarlo Stanton here, over 1.5 bases, plus 143. Reason being, he has multiple bases in 4 of his last 5 games, a home run in 3 of his last 5, uh, RBI in 4 of his last 5, a hit in 11 of his last 13. So Giancarlo Stanton is hitting the ball very well right now. 1 for 3 with a double against Gilbert. So we'll take Mr. Stanton here to get multiple bases. And most likely, if he does, it's going to be a home run. So if you want to sprinkle in the home run prop, you could do that as well. But I'll stick with over 1.5 bases here. Mariners first 5 plus 105. I would disagree on that. But what else is new? Me and Nick always disagree. Tempted on Seattle, but Logan Gilbert hasn't been on his game and Yankees are hot. Yeah, I wouldn't. I would not bet Seattle here. But to each his own. Moving on to the final game that we're going to be talking about today is the Baltimore Orioles and St. Louis Cardinals. Baltimore plus 105 to plus 112. St. Louis minus 121 to minus 125. 7.5s and 8s available here in this one. Dean Kramer on the mound for Baltimore. 3-3 with a 3.72 ERA, coming off a loss against Arizona in his last start, but 2 wins before that against Cincinnati and the New York Yankees. And in the loss against Arizona, he gave up 4 hits, 3 earned runs, but had 10 strikeouts, 4 walks. So you got to keep the walks down. And that's probably one of the reasons why he lost that game. And now looking to rebound here against this Cardinals team, who has been heating it up lately. They've been actually winning some games recently. But when you look at Sonny Gray, who was absolutely lights out to start the season, it was very difficult to score anything on him. The last 2 games against Milwaukee and the Angels, he has got exposed. 7 hits, 6 earned runs in the loss against Milwaukee. And then his last game, he did record the win, but he gave up 8 hits and 5 earned runs to the LA Angels in 6 innings. So he's starting to get hit. He's starting to get hit in his last couple of games. Now he faces this Orioles offense, and he gets to face Gunnar Henderson, who we're taking over 1.5 bases, plus 114, and the home run at plus 430. Henderson has a home run in 3 games in a row. I believe he leads baseball in home runs, but don't quote me on that. He is obviously in the top 3. He has been smashing the ball all season long. 1 for 4 against Sonny Gray in his career. The 1 hit was a single, but Sonny Gray, like I said, has been getting hit, and I like this spot here for Henderson and potentially the Orioles. Not on them here as a side, but was a heavy lean for me here in this game. Da, 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 da. Yankees own the Mariners. Well, there you go. Um, Everyone knows that I really like past history stats against when it comes to hockey. Don't really look at them as much when it comes to baseball, obviously, because for a while, a lot of the time, some teams weren't facing each other for years. Let me bring it up here. Yeah, so we'll see what happens in that game. Feels like the Trappist game of the day. The Cardinals are favorites. St. Louis first five minus 135. They've been winning games. They have. Orioles is, and they have their best pitcher on the mound in Gray, um, who's been getting hit lately, though. Orioles is the play. I would agree. O's should win today. They probably should, yeah. I agree with that. But that's today's show. Premium plays, I've got two of them available at picksandparlays.net in the description below. No NHL show today because I'm only on one play. And that is Leon Draisaitl over 1.5 points, which I got at plus 120 yesterday, posted on Twitter. Last time I checked, it was minus 105, which is where it was in most other books. So ultimately, no NHL show for me today. I would still bet Draisaitl over 1.5 points. I think the loss of Brock Besser hurts, and I think Draisaitl comes to play when it matters most, obviously, and in the playoffs. So I would look at Draisaitl when it comes to who wins. I do think Edmonton wins, but it wouldn't shock me to see the Canucks win either. So no NHL show today, and NHL show will be back, I believe, Wednesday is the first. We'll see. Whenever the first game is, we'll be back. But thank you everyone for watching. Best of luck today. We'll see you guys in the next show. Thanks, guys.